Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tech Tuesday with Out of the Box. Today's webinar will cover why accurate bookkeeping is the key to profitability. Thanks so much for joining us. Today's presenter is our very own Mary Hunter, Vice President of Training and Consulting here at Out of the Box. Mary joined Out of the Box in early 2006 and brings decades of experience as a CPA, which have equipped her with a deep expertise in a broad range of industries, including large and small manufacturers, retail, wholesale distribution, and healthcare, just to name a few. Mary has recently added to her resume the development of internal training and implementation of initiatives, leveraging her professional expertise to help develop our internal teams. Her expertise is unrivaled, so we encourage you to engage her with any questions you might have as we go through our presentation. As for me, my name is Jeanette Schwartz-Rattan. I'm the Director of Digital Marketing here at Out of the Box, and I will be your moderator for the day. Just a few housekeeping items before we get started. This session is being recorded, so you don't have to take notes. We will share the recording with you later this afternoon, along with the slide deck, so you can review it with colleagues, etc. We also have reserved a few minutes of time at the end of the presentation for questions, but the Q&A chat box is also open. Should you have anything pressing that you'd like for us to address in real time, just throw them into the Q&A box and we will address those as they arise. A little bit about Out of the Box, if you haven't joined us before, or maybe it's been a little while. Here at Out of the Box, our mission is to empower entrepreneurs with the QuickBooks-based financial tools, services, and insights they need to thrive. Out of the Box is the premier choice for QuickBooks accounting services, boasting over 30 years of experience and a track record of exceeding the expectations of more than 50,000 satisfied clients. Our comprehensive accounting solutions save you time and money while providing you with the financial accuracy, security, and insights necessary to grow your business. Just a little note here, as an elite QuickBooks service solution provider, we are able to offer you exclusive discounts on any QuickBooks products. So please be sure to reach out to us before you purchase any so that we can get you a good deal. With that, I believe I've covered all of our housekeeping items. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to kick things off just to get to know you a little bit with a poll. So which of the following best describes your role? If you could vote on that, we'll get a sense of who's here. Maybe we can tailor our content a little bit to your answers. Looks like we've got about 50% of you having voted. Give it another couple of questions, or I'm sorry, seconds. And then we'll close it. 3, 2, 1. Great. So it looks like we've got all bookkeepers here, Mary, if you want to make a note of that as you go through. And you can get started if you want to review the agenda.
Excellent. Are you going to share your screen with that, Jeanette?
I'm so sorry. I thought
No
I had
worries.
sharing this entire time and I was not. Yes, let's share my screen. Here we go. Can you see it?
Great. Excellent. Yes, welcome everybody to Tech Tuesday and welcome to the end of April. It's almost May here, so we're really excited to be done with that tax season and on to getting ready for the rest of the year. So today we're going to talk about one, accurate and reliable bookkeeping. Why is it important? What is bookkeeping, truthfully, and how do we get there? So that's kind of what our agenda is today, and we're going to dive right into that. So what is bookkeeping? So as Jeanette mentioned, kind of we're going to have a little polling question here, and then we'll dive into that. So how do you know if your business is having a good year? Okay, so right now it's almost end of April. Are we going to review the financials, look at the bank account balances based on how busy your service team or other people in the business are and how much the phone is ringing? Or is there another matrix that you look at to judge how busy or if we're having a good year or not.
All right, we have 50% again having voted, so we'll give it another couple of seconds before we close the poll. 3, 2, 1, and it looks like everybody answered correctly. They review their financials, thank goodness.
Great, great. Many of our clients, when I talk to them, especially small business people that we are directly working with and trying to help, that is our passion with small and medium-sized businesses. Many of them truly are just looking at the bank balance. So we all know that there's much more to a company's financial health and results than the bank account. So I'm glad everybody is aware of that and answered that question. So most business owners want to know, when we talk to them, how much money did they make? Where is the money? How much deposits did they have, especially going back to those bank accounts? And very important, how much are we going to owe in taxes? So no business owner wants to have a surprise when it comes to paying taxes, especially at the end of the year. They do not want surprises. All of those answers come with good bookkeeping. So a company's financials, so financial management, depends on the industry that the company is in. All companies have their unique processes and revenue recognition methodology. Accounting software. Yes, we do QuickBooks, all QuickBooks, but there are several other accounting platforms. So we need a system to organize and present that financial information, and we need efficient, accurate bookkeeping, and I would also add to that timely. So yes, efficient, but we want it timely so we can look at those reports in real time. Again, in terms of bookkeeping, what is going into our financials? We've got lots of moving parts here. We've got things going through our bank accounts or bank transactions. We have things going through our credit card accounts. Many businesses have multiple credit card accounts that lots of business purchases are being made on. We've got revenue or sales that is being recorded, and that could be the form of invoices, sales receipts, or money depositing directly into the bank account. We, of course, have accounts receivable if we are tracking invoices and receiving payments on customer invoices. We've got the accounts payable function, which is our bills that we enter and then paying of those bills, and then lots and lots of different expenses. So lots of moving parts here that make up the whole cycle of accounting and bookkeeping. So in terms of bookkeeping versus accounting, so they're different, but very much integrally related. So bookkeeping is really the practice of organizing, recording, and summarizing the financial information in a systematic way. For instance, recording bank transactions such as payments made from the business for business expenses, organizing those accurately and consistently, reconciling bank accounts, and recording that in an efficient but timely way is good bookkeeping practices. Accounting is a little bit more systematic in terms of looking at the results after the bookkeeping is done. So looking at reports such as trends in our profit and loss, our balance sheet results, assets, liabilities, and equity, and looking at cash flow statements, trying to predict what is going to happen in the future. So slightly different, but both extremely important. Again, bookkeeping is really the fundamental or foundation that good accounting is coming from. So it's got to start with good, accurate bookkeeping practices, recording financial transactions accurately and consistently, posting our income and business expenses, preparing the financial statements. So using a good, accurate financial accounting system like QuickBooks is going to enable us to look at our financial reports quickly and correctly. And again, processing and recording those payroll expenses. Accounting, a little bit more of the interpretation of the bookkeeping data. So reviewing and analyzing the financial statements, looking at what the results of the month has been in the year, preparing adjusting entries. So when we get our tax returns done, our CPA or tax accountant will typically record adjusting entries at year end and possibly at month end and quarter end, depending on how often your CPA is looking at your books and records. Accountants also perform audits for a variety of different reasons, for bank compliance, possibly a sale of a business or a purchase of a new business. And our accountant or tax accountant is also going to file our income tax returns and possibly other returns also based on the financial statements that we in the bookkeeping world prepare. The accounting periods and cycles. So it starts with individual transactions. So in terms of what the bookkeeper is going to start to do on a daily or weekly basis is recording individual transactions that happen each day in connection with that business. At the end of a month, then we're going to reconcile our accounts to our various statements. So all bank statements, loan statements, credit card statements, line of credit statements are going to be reconciled to our accounting file. Then we're going to prepare our preliminary financial reports. Then at that point, we may post some additional accruals, adjusting or closing entries, such as monthly depreciation, a payroll accrual, interest accrual, or other month-end closing entries. And then we're going to have a final financial statement that is going to be either internal for the owner to review, or it could be for an external party, such as a bank or a lender. Why is bookkeeping and accurate financial statements so important? One, we deal with a lot of very small startup businesses, a lot. In fact, on this slide, it says 82% of businesses fail in the first couple of years due to poor cash flow. And in most cases, it's because of poor information. We don't have the information on where that money is going and what we're spending that money on. In the importance of accurate bookkeeping, of course, to small and startup businesses, but to any business, it's extremely important to have accurate and timely bookkeeping. One, it is required to provide financial information to outside parties, insurance providers, banks, investors. It protects the company itself's investment. So to keep an accurate set of books for the business owner is going to give you more value to your business because you have good, accurate information that tells the story of your business, where it's at a particular point in time. Provides very important information if we are going to sell your business, open a second location, expand into a new market, and possibly get a loan. It also provides critically important information to our accountant or tax preparer to file accurate tax reporting to those governmental agencies. So it's extremely important when we are reporting business results to have accurate financials that we can rely upon and have confidence in that they're accurate. Benefits of good bookkeeping. So I always talk about this because it's very near and dear to my heart in terms of owners having the ability to make informed decisions. So by looking at financial statements, once the month end is closed, putting financials in front of the owner and really getting sometimes those small business owners comfortable with looking at the financial statements, both an income statement or a profit and loss and the balance sheet to make sure they understand what they're looking at. But that gives owners and others information to make informed decisions. So many business owners go through the year and they're making decisions on changes to their business, but they're not really looking at accurate numbers or knowing what they're looking at. So Accurate, timely financials are extremely important to have information to make decisions on. It's an accurate indicator of measurable success. Again, going along the precedent that our books are complete and accurate, then we have reliable statements to look at and make decisions based off of, not just guessing and hoping our books or our business is in a certain position. Financial statements, one that are going to help us make those decisions, the very important balance sheet, income statement, also known in our industry as the P&L, and the cash flow statement, all very important reports to take a look at. Again, benefits of keeping books accurate and reconciled and doing month-end close. At the end of the year and at the end of the quarter, we're going to be better prepared for tax season. So we just finished, hopefully, with last year's year end for tax season. Many accountants and CPAs are now looking at your first quarter financials to start helping prepare and plan for 2025. So estimated taxes, state estimated taxes, CPAs typically, if they're involved in your business on a regular basis, will be looking at first quarter and second quarter financials. Common documents that we need to provide to federal, state, and local governments, of course, are our financial statements and the transaction details for the support of our tax payments. Again, more benefits to doing good, accurate bookkeeping throughout the year. Again, one of the things that we have and keep track of is the detailed records of all transactions organized in specific consistent categories, such as goods, things that we're purchasing for the services that we might provide, services that we purchase, wages that we pay to our employees, and various taxes that we might have related to wages or taxes to other entities. So categorizing things in consistent accounts and accurately is very important to preparing and providing and generating good, accurate financials. Outsource bookkeeping. So one of the things that we provide, one of the services that we provide at Out of the Box is outsourced bookkeeping. And that can be full service bookkeeping from start to finish, or doing part of that month-end close for you. So you may, as a business owner, record transactions that happen on a day-to-day basis, but you're not comfortable or have a skilled enough staff to do a month-end close, such as bank recs, credit card recs, recording of payroll. So one, we here at Out of the Box have experience in bookkeeping and accounting that can help increase efficiency on your end and improve accuracy of the financials. One, we really promote real-time reporting. So we want those month-end financials to be completed in a very realistic period of time after month end. We don't want to be waiting 6 months to reconcile our bank accounts or do all 12 months at the end of the year. Again, keeping your books and records accurate in a timely basis can provide some cost savings to you. So if someone is looking at your accounting transactions monthly, it's much easier to fix and correct things that are not accurate each month rather than do it all at the end of the month. Also, there is a better likelihood to find possibly fraudulent charges on statements such as your credit cards. If you're looking at and reconciling those statements on a monthly basis, you do have a better probability or likelihood to see things that might be fraudulent. One, improving financial visibility. One, again, looking at your financial statements on a regular and consistent basis is something we highly recommend for business owners to look at the results of each month end. When you get to the quarter, you can look at your quarter month end. And again, you'll be much better prepared for your year end in terms of the entire year. You'll have increased control over the business and your decision making if you are getting good, accurate monthly results on your bookkeeping. Additional benefits to outsourced bookkeeping that we provide is we do have a dedicated account manager assigned to each client. There is a dedicated bookkeeping team that would be working on your particular business. Like Jeanette mentioned, we do offer all of our clients discounts on Intuit products and services. Some of the statements that we would prepare for you and communicate with you are your monthly profit and loss and balance sheet. And again, some other financials that you might require would be set up ahead of time. One of the things that monthly bookkeeping will do is provide and ensure that we have consistent allocation of your expenses each month, the proper recording and allocation of wage and tax expense. And again, year-end review, which is extremely important prior to sending your financials to your CPA for taxes. And again, your monthly financials would be reviewed by a senior team member before being finalized. So how does that process work? If you are interested in getting started, is one, we look at and talk to you individually about what your accounting method is. Are you on cash basis or accrual basis for your tax return? What is the best method for you to look at in terms of your own books, in terms of evaluating your business? The tax return preparation can be totally separate from the way your books are generated for monthly review. Single entry or double entry in this age of modern accounting, everything in terms of QuickBooks is double entry accounting, so we never have a single-sided entry. But that's an old term, but that would be something like a pencil ledger that we're only entering one side of the transaction. So we would be doing, of course, double entry. The next thing that we would do is we would talk about the accounting software that's best suited for you and your business. So there's a lot of accounting products out there. QuickBooks itself has many different accounting products depending on what is best suited for your business, whether if you have inventory or you do job costing as a contractor or a construction-based business, or if you're a service-based business that has no inventory, we talked to you about the different QuickBooks platforms that would be best suited for your business model. Step 3 is we talk about the transactions and look at the transactions that you are incurring every single month, how we would organize those and categorize those and post those to your accounting software. Establish a routine of doing that on a daily basis, depending on the volume, weekly or monthly, again, depending on your business size and your unique business model. Getting started. One, the main tip I think that we all need to think about is if you're a small business owner, do you have the skill set in your organization to do a proper job of doing your bookkeeping? So one, we recommend seeking professional help when needed. If you or your team does not have one, the time or the skill set to do the bookkeeping yourself. Many small business owners find it advantageous to outsource that, especially in the beginning. So secondly, many seasoned accountants, as we talked about in terms of your CPA or your tax planner, do want to look at your books, this company's books, at least by the third quarter. I have many, many clients right now that are looking at my clients' first quarter financials. They've already completed last year's tax return, and now they're starting to be proactive in thinking about 2025 results. And one of the ways they do that is look at each quarter's financials. So depending on what your tax accountant needs, It's very good proactive planning, not to wait till third quarter to see how the business is doing, but to look at it after first and second quarter so that those estimated taxes can be adjusted as needed depending on the results. So getting started with out of the box, if you have an interest, even if you're just not sure and you want to start talking about what that would look like in terms of outsourced bookkeeping, one is that you would start with an onboarding assessment. So we would talk about what your business does, the number of transactions, and identify what your needs are and develop a scope. So the next thing we do is we look at all those detailed transactions, what kind of volume it is, what kind of software you use, what kind of business model, and develop a plan of doing that bookkeeping. We define the scope of what the outsourced bookkeeper would do and what you may want to do internally, and then we would present and discuss with you the pricing. After we come to an agreement on that, then we talk about onboarding you, getting access to your accounts so that we can have financial statements and look at the transactions that we are going to be responsible for coding and recording. And again, typically, depending on the business model and depending on, and this is very customizable depending on each individual business, we could be responsible for recording revenue, or if you do the invoicing yourself, we may apply the customer payments to those invoices. We can categorize vendor expenses, and if there's vendor bills, paying of the bills, if there's credit card transactions, or if you pay bills with debits and online payment transfers, we would record those and code those properly. We would enter your payroll expenses from an outside payroll processor. Many people do process payroll within QuickBooks, and if that is something you would like us to help you with, we would include that as part of our scope. We would also reconcile all of your bank statements, your credit card statements, and your monthly loan statements to your accounting records. Again, we would also record monthly adjustments for depreciation, recording interest on those loans or lines of credit. If there is an interest accrual required, we would record that. We would review the bookkeeping, and again, then we would provide monthly financials on an agreed upon date. So typically we'd like to do that very quickly after month end. Again, provided that we have all of the documentations needed to complete that month end, we'll return back monthly financial statements and we'll have ongoing communication with the business owner regarding those financials. Again, it's May in a day or two. So the year is about 45% over. Okay, hard to believe it. It just feels like we finished with winter. But main thing I like to ask is, are your books up to date? And do we know where the money is, right? How much money have we earned and where is all our cash? So hopefully, if we don't know the answers to those questions, we want to start with good, accurate bookkeeping and get our books caught up to the current month end. Client responsibilities. Again, typically, if you were doing outsourced bookkeeping, the client or business owner themselves would be responsible for keeping track of daily cash, right? What's in the bank account? How much money do I have to pay bills? And how much money do I have coming in, such as collecting from customers? So payments of vendor bills are typically done by the client or the business owner, but in some cases, we can provide that service for customers. Entry of customer invoices and payments. Many companies themselves want to generate their own invoices and receive payment against those. Sometimes we take on that responsibility also. So all of those decisions would be talked about and decided in your monthly bookkeeping assessment on what you want to do and what you want an outsourced bookkeeper to do. Again, provide us secondary access, or what I call view-only access, so that we can pull bank statements and look at transactions that are going through your bank account. And of course, the main reason is to get those bank and credit card statements as quickly as possible, so that does not hold up the reconciliation process. Again, more client responsibilities, access to the credit card accounts or bank accounts for view-only access. Ensure that information that we request is provided accurately and timely. We are only as timely as the information that we have to work with. So usually what holds up our process is when we're waiting for answers on questions, or we don't have the statements that we need to reconcile accounts. Communication with us on any changes or challenges that might be affecting your books or your customers or your payments that we are not aware of. So keep us informed. We want to be your business partner to understand what's going on. So when we see changes in the financials, we understand those. Do's and don'ts. Okay, for any business owner, don't assume that everyone in your organization knows proper bookkeeping procedures. Again, many of us have gone to school a long time to learn how things should be classified and categorized in accordance with IRS regulations. Don't assume that everyone knows how to use QuickBooks. Okay, people can typically get things entered in QuickBooks, but there's lots and lots of capabilities in terms of reporting and categorization that QuickBooks is very good at, and we are experts definitely at QuickBooks software. Again, don't assume that good financial statements can be generated without training or expertise. What business owners typically tell us and tell me all the time. I talk to business owners every day, and many times they say, hey, looking at the P&L last year when I got my tax return done was a wake-up call for me to know what I need to focus on. They don't know they've spent this much money on blank, or they didn't know their revenue had changed from the previous year. So again, we don't want to wait till the end of the year to get those information presented to us. If owners have accurate financials and are looking at those and understanding those, we're way more confident, and we hope that business owners can make better, more informed decisions based on accurate, reliable data and not their feelings, not what they think is happening. One, what our goals are here at Out of the Box Technology is one, excellent client service and accurate financials. But again, our goal is to communicate the overall impact of those financial statements or financial transactions in a report that business owners can then look at and make decisions on. So again, a lot of different moving parts that go into a financial statement, but the financial statement is the ultimate decision-making tool that can help business owners look at and make informed decisions on their business. Again, every business owner should ask in terms of looking at their financials. Are their financial statements accurate? How can they tell? What should a normal financial statement look like? Those are things that we can help with. Is the data meaningful? Okay, so if the financial statements are accurate, then the data is going to be meaningful and is going to be helpful in those all-important decision-making decisions on many things: expansion, hiring new employees, moving into a new business area, buying a new asset, taking on debt, etc. All of those things really are very important to get answers from your financial statements. If you answer no, that you're not quite sure if your financial statements are accurate or meaningful, here are some of the things that we at Out of the Box can help with. Cleanup accounting. So a very big part of our business is that cleanup when things look very wrong in a business's financial statements. We all can tell, and I will ask owners right out, are your financials accurate? And they usually will say yes or no. They know that they're not right, but they're not sure how to get them correct. Catch-up accounting. So we call it cleanup, but many of those projects are related to catch-up accounting, meaning bank accounts and other accounts in our financials have not been reconciled in 6 months or a year or even more. So we've seen it all. Anything that you can come up with, believe me, we have seen it. Nothing surprises us. So all of those kind of things we see, we can help with and help you get caught up quickly so that you can move forward with good, accurate bookkeeping and financial accounting. Monthly outsourced bookkeeping. So if you have a need to keep your books accurate and timely on a monthly basis, we're here to help. Okay. If you're a brand new business or looking to just start with QuickBooks, we help with QuickBooks setup, talking to you and advising you on what is the best setup for your particular business model, what version of QuickBooks software is best going to suit you and your business. So it may be something today and it may be something different in 5 years from now. We also provide training and consulting. If you are, let's say, migrating from a former set of books into QuickBooks, so if you and your staff have never used QuickBooks before and need to learn how to use that software and how to create reports and run reports that are going to be meaningful and beneficial to you, training and consulting would be an option that we offer. We also do what's called a data migration. So again, if you have a QuickBooks file and you want to move to another QuickBooks file for a variety of different reasons, your file may be very large, too large to continue using it. You may be coming from a different accounting platform and you want to move into QuickBooks. Data migration, we have a whole team of experts and technicians that can help move and migrate your financial data into a QuickBooks product that's best suited for you.
Thanks,
So,
Mary.
mm-hmm.
I guess we'll open it up for Q&A now. I had a quick question for you while we wait for others to enter theirs. Given that we're speaking to Service Nation Alliance members, are there any benchmarks or metrics that you can share with us that are common to home services businesses?
So yeah, one of the things that I would say right off the top is the setup of your chart of accounts. So many Service Nation Alliance members have those direct costs such as material purchases, equipment purchases, direct labor, all of those costs that go into producing their jobs or their revenue. Those we would recommend having in an area of the QuickBooks chart of accounts called cost of goods sold. What that's going to do when we look at your P&L, it's going to subtotal those accounts so that we can see gross profit on our jobs. So sales less that cost of goods sold category of expenses is going to give us gross profit. We want to get in the habit of looking at gross profit as a percent of sales, so gross profit percentage. We typically will have benchmarks on what a particular business's gross profit percentage is and should be, such as your goal or your budget, and then to compare monthly results to those. So the gross profit percent as a percent of income and quite honestly, net income percent as a percentage of income are very good indicators of, is your month going along as the benchmark would hope, or are you over or under those benchmarks? So sometimes we call those key performance indicators or KPIs. We also want to think about, are you tracking inventory or not? If you're not tracking inventory, you're expensing everything as you purchase it, There's advantages and disadvantages to both, but those are things that we talk about in that Service Nation Alliance world is one, constantly making sure that not only the profit and loss is accurate, but the balance sheet too.
Excellent. And I guess in follow-up to that, is there any particular place inside of the financial statements that you find Service Nation Alliance type businesses get hung up? Like, whether it's cash flow or cost of goods
Mhm.
sold. Can you
So
talk about that?
one of the things when I work with Service Nation Alliance members or clients is that tracking the different kinds of departmental revenue and expense, many of them, and I think it's a good practice, use class tracking. So the classes would represent in QuickBooks their department or their revenue streams, such as the install, the maintenance, or the service department. The revenue is pretty easy to get to those classes. Direct purchases of materials or subcontractor labor is easy to code to those direct departments or classes also. The payroll or labor costs aren't always quite as easy depending on your payroll provider. Sometimes we can do an allocation of those payroll expenses, so those can be split or spread between various departments based on hours worked, or individuals may be assigned to different departments. So those kind of things we can help with is allocation of payroll costs to the correct business unit or revenue stream. So then we can get profitability by business unit or department.
Excellent. And that's right where you want to be. Well, thank you so much. It looks like those are all the questions that we have for the day. I want to thank all of you for your time and for coming with such great questions. If any of you would like to reach out with anything additional or to get started with one of our complimentary bookkeeping assessments or a demo of a QuickBooks product, please feel free to connect with us by way of the contact info on the screen, and we can get you on your way to clean, accurate books and improved financial visibility. Thanks again for joining, and thank you, Mary, for sharing your expertise. As a reminder, the recording of this presentation will be shared with you in the next 24 hours, so be on the lookout for that. And have a great day, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.